Welcome back, guys, to Remax episode 26, where I forgot to change the title of the stream because my dashboard logged out and I didn't run ads. So Ripperino, and we have Morrow here, as you can see, the ginger.
What are you eating? What are you eating?
Welcome
Mark?
back, guys, to Remax.
Eating pasta bolognese. It's very delicious.
Morrow, how much
Can you
do I
show
have
us?
to?
Oh, I saw a little bit of it.
Oh, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn, Mo, damn. Did you make it yourself?
Wow.
Did you
I
make
guess I did.
You sound way too proud, man.
In esports, being able to do basic survival tasks like the laundry and cooking
very
is an
impressive.
achievement. It's
Yep.
an achievement. It's an achievement.
You gotta get
Yes.
that achievement portrait.
Yeah. This is the part where I would be mean and troll Roddy, but I won't.
Oh, poor Roddy, man.
I'm the laundry god of this establishment.
Oh god. Alright, so yeah, I'm just fixing up the overlays, guys, real quick. Alright, so there was a leak from an informer. So this is like what happened is someone from Yahoo Business, I think, posted a bunch of information about Blizzard, what they were planning to do with every game. So Overwatch, Heroes, and everything. There's a little bit of rumors here and there, obviously. That person, that informer, was the person informing that guy about Overwatch before BlizzCon. So if that made sense. So, you know, he's to be trusted because what he said previously was true. Now, is all of this true? We'll see. What that person is claiming basically is that Legacy of the Void is going to be released between May and June, which would mean the beta would be out really soon, which would mean WCS Season 3 would potentially be Legacy of the Void. So this is...
Would it be season 2 too, or no?
Season 2 starts in like April or May, right?
So it could possibly be season 2.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That face, it's going into the highlights, Nathanias, forever.
I
mean, you fucked up.
Can we let's think about how this is this realistically possible? If they wanted to release, let's assume that, you know, for nostalgia's sake of them trying to, you know, go full Jesus and bring StarCraft back to life, they released the game on the same day that Wings of Liberty was released, July 27th. What do they have to do to make the rest of everything line up with that? So, assuming that they were going to even do it earlier, it would have to be at least, you know, like a month earlier or whatever for the first step. Beta for Wings of Liberty first went out, was it February or March? Like the earliest beta for Wings of Liberty.
Yeah, but Wings of Liberty, it was like a completely new game where we've been playing Starcraft
they
II
had
for
the
so long.
same. I'm just trying to think of like if we were gonna line things up. It was out. It wasn't.
Wouldn't it be
come out
better
in, like,
to
January,
compare it to
right?
HOTS though? The HOTS beta and the HOTS
It
release?
was HOTS was just weird because it was like a different. The time frame was very different. Like as far
Yeah,
as
but
the
I mean,
release date.
wouldn't HOTS be a lot, like, time-wise between when beta came out, how
Yeah.
long beta was,
So when
and how...
HOTS
don't
came
remember,
out
though.
in March. HOTS came out in March 2013.
The beta started in like September or like November.
See, I don't even.
October?
Maybe
Mo,
maybe
you're
I
the
have
one.
an
Mo,
email.
stop eating. You're the one who made the switch to the beta right away, like a sellout.
Let me see if
So
I still
you
have
should
my
be
email.
able to tell us, Mo.
Does anybody know?
Well,
Shouldn't it should just be on? It should just be on Wikipedia, should it
It
not?
should
We're
just
having,
be
like-
no.
we're
My
having,
Heart of
like,
the
our own
Swarm.
conversation
It was
and switching up
September.
here.
It was September. It was September. I got my Heart of the Swarm beta invited in September.
Yeah,
So
so-
September 2012.
Yeah, and then it released on March 12th.
Yeah. So you're
That was
going.
a long.
Yeah, that's a long ass.
Yeah.
There's no
So
way
it
they're
was
doing
what?
it that long. There's
So that's
no
6
way.
months. That's 6
There's
months.
no
which-
way.
Yeah.
6
No
months. The 6-month beta for
Yeah,
Legacy
that
of the
would be-
Void? No fucking way. It's no.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Let's say.
I would say the beta would be like 2-3 months. That's
Yeah.
very likely.
So
Yeah.
June could be a realistic call then for the game
Yes.
to come out.
Yes.
Also, in general, because there seems to be a lot of people in this thread, like the top post is that's a lot of information for Blizzard Insider. But to be honest, when I look at everything that's listed here, just looking it over just right now, it's all very believable. There's nothing in here that I'm like, that doesn't make sense. All of it seems like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Oh yeah,
I recall also back when Heart of the Swarm stuff was being discussed, because there was also that leak of the Heart of the Swarm final cutscene, which we were all hoping would be fake, and then it turned out to be real. But that was far enough ahead of time of the game's release that it's believable that the campaign shit is mostly done or already done anyway, because they already have an idea of it. Of like the storyline was obviously written or whatever, however and a half ago. So it could just be like just the last few months doing obviously the beta, which I guess would have to be announced really soon, and probably whatever other tiny like tune-ups are. But I'd imagine that the campaign would have to be close to done or done already at this point.
Yeah.
Well,
if the information given is correct.
If Legacy of the Void's coming out either way very soon, then that's very good. I think everybody from the community.
I think it has to come out, because if Legacy of the Void comes out at a point where we don't get to see it in like at BlizzCon or something, or like whatever the grand finals will be, then it's gonna really hurt it. Like having to wait until what if WCS. If WCS happens next year and it happens like it is this year, then you're basically saying that you're not going to see competitive games of it, or at least good competitive games of it, until like GSL starts up in January.
Even to take that one step further, it would be hard for me to imagine that they would have 3 seasons of Heart of the Swarm, and then have the BlizzCon be Legacy of the Void.
Yeah,
feels like they would have to have a WCS season, at least one to be Legacy of the Void. Yeah,
there has to be a transition season or period,
because it would be stupid for like all the players qualify from Heart of the Swarm, and then they go to BlizzCon and they're like, well, we don't know how to fucking play this, and the person that was the best in Heart of the Swarm isn't going to be the best in Legacy of the Void necessarily. So
what would we say? Season 3, right? Season
3, Legacy of the Void's out, and that's what's being played. Yes, that would be the only thing that makes sense. Otherwise, like if you wait until next year, it's just way too long. Might as well just bury the game. And before that, you gotta at least test it out for 1 season. So, but that's good either way for all of us. I think everybody in the community, all the professional players, all the casters, everybody, even the like just general fan of the game, wants Legacy of the Void to come out sooner rather than later.
I don't think I'm not sitting here being like, guys, I don't want the. I'd be really upset if beta came out next week. No, I would love them to have it as soon as possible.
Morrow, what do you think? You've just been fucking eating the whole time.
Yeah, Morrow. How
I
upset will you be when you are told that you have to switch in Premier League to Heart of the Swarm or to Legacy of the Void in the 3rd season when you already have enough points to qualify for BlizzCon?
I'm gonna be so fucking mad when I qualify for BlizzCon, raping everyone, and then I go to BlizzCon only to get like Disruptor rushed in the first round. That's gonna suck so much, man.
Yeah, I think that's a very real possibility too.
I think
No. I think they'll do a season of Legacy of the Void. They have to. It would be so stupid if they did 3 seasons of Heart of the Swarm and then just BlizzCon Legacy of the Void. That'd be unreal.
Yeah, I agree with you. It has to be that way, or that they release the game after BlizzCon is done.
But that's way too long too. If they waited a whole year.
It is this year. I don't think that's too bad. They can have like beta stage for.
I highly doubt that.
I think it's a lot more hype if we see someone get fucking wrecked by some disturbing cheese in a WCS match because Legacy of the Void just came out.
As much as the pro gamers won't like it, the fans are gonna be like, "Oh my god, big tournament!" Legacy of the Void. And they're gonna see all this new stuff.
Yeah, how long did people call the Oracle the MC style when Art of a Swarm came out on fucking Whirlwind? Because there was the first MLG with all the show matches, the best of 5 show matches to make it to MLG, and then MC did super well with the Oracle, and people were like, did you see the MC Oracle build? Oh my god, it's so good. So people would love it, yes. I really think so. I'm a little bit jealous of MC, as you can see. Are we done with that topic, Chris? Can I get your approval?
Yeah, I think we're good to move on.
Alright, thank you, Dad. So yeah, next topic is a pretty big topic. It's our last topic of the show before we do the Patron call-ins. This show, Mo, we don't want to see your keyboard, man.
Yeah.
Mo.
I think he went to go take his plate to the kitchen.
God damn it, Mo.
Oh no, he's doing a quick fap, I guess. You can see the porn image moving on the screen.
You can see the tissue, man. That tissue scares me.
Yeah. No. Keep it above the waist.
All right, so
Very true, guys.
all right, so the show might be
Well
a,
met.
yeah, the show might be a little shorter. We're gonna invite Winter to come discuss the next topic, which is how much do streamers make, or where do BBs come from, versus how much do pro gamers make. So let's drag Winter into the call.
That's so fucking disgusting, Morrow. I hate that shit so much.
What shit?
Is that about
Sits so
snooze?
nicely.
What shit?
Snooze.
Oh,
Oh, snooze is filthy. Ugh.
yeah. Well,
can't-
I mean,
can't
you
do
know.
Yeah.
You suck, so.
Yeah.
You're not Swedish, you wouldn't understand.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe
So
when I
anyway,
consider
yeah.
that
So
streamer.
anyway, the reason we're discussing this topic is because Fenner made a big post about like all his financials, which was just a smart way to get a lot of attention about his streaming and everything, and that was really cool of him to be upfront about everything. So he just displayed how much does he make from commercials, from subs, from donations, from everything. So yeah. So, well, Chris, can you take this over?
Take this over? I
Hello?
wasn't even fucking listening to you, but yeah, I can take
Hey,
this
what's up,
over.
Winter?
How you
Okay.
doing?
Yeah, good.
Welcome.
Alright.
I
Well
want to see
met.
that. I want to see that boost in viewers. Hit me with
There
the
we go.
3K.
No, they're all on my
Oh.
channel right now because I'm actually streaming at the moment.
Oh,
But
still?
Rip.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Rip.
I just
That's
started like an hour ago because Desir's like, "No, we don't need you today." But
Anyways,
Rip.
so the subject is how much do streamers make? Basically, it came off the topic he posted on Reddit, which I'll link to chat.
my topic
Uh,
or Fenner's?
We're talking about
Fenner's.
Fenner's.
No,
yeah.
we're just bringing you in here because we gotta fill space. It's not
There
like
you go.
your first choice. You're just
It's
here.
alright. I understand your feelings.
And we'll get your thoughts on this in a second. And there's also so there's a lot of talk, and people were pretty surprised at how little, I guess, some people make, and also how dependent they are on donations. And then the discussion we're going to lead into is like pro gamers versus full-time streamers. So I don't know how honest you are with your numbers, Winter. I know
Well-
personally that Destiny was going to be very open, with what he was going to say as far as what he makes. But just share with us, I guess, your thoughts. Any numbers you can share. If you can't share numbers, just like theoretical, maybe use what you think some other streamers that are as big as you or similar size make.
I actually posted on Reddit. Someone literally made a Reddit topic. How much do Winter and other streamers make? I think desRow will probably have a link to that in the near future. But I kind of detailed how much of my income was from donations and subs, because I went from the beginning of 2014. I was probably making like on average less than $2,000 a month off of like Twitch Plus donations, to at the end of 2014 like probably about 5 times that. Just overall. I actually detailed over the course of the last year. I didn't go full-time streaming, and there's obviously a difference there. But I didn't go full-time streaming. I didn't have a Twitch partnership until about April. So most of my numbers are skewed towards the last 8 months of the year, obviously, because that's when I started getting popular, when I could focus like 60 hours a week into streaming. But overall, it was a progression from the beginning of the year where I'd say 80 to 90% of my income was entirely donations, to the end of the year where less than half is from donations on average. But of course it can, depending on the month and everything, it can go over. But last year total from donations and subs, which is the stuff I usually release because that comes from my viewers, I'm always transparent, like I always have it on screen, or how many subs I have. I made about 60,000 total. That's before taxes, of course. It's all taxable. Donations are taxable because they're considered earned income. Not like you're not an official charity, so you're not going to be able to write those off. You can maybe get a gift of up to $10,000, but it's kind of depending on the tax laws in your country. But overall, for smaller streamers and for streamers who, like, I got a premium Twitch partnership, which gives you better sub revenue. Like, I get $3 instead of $2.50 per sub. You get better ad contracts and stuff, which is negotiated individually with each streamer. But until you get those, or until you're at that level, you're almost for all intents and purposes, you're relying on charity. That's it. And that's how streaming works for people below the, I guess, top tier. And in StarCraft, almost everyone is below the top tier just because of the nature of StarCraft right now. So you're kind of forced into that mindset. And I know a lot of people just like years ago, you had people like, oh, it's donations. You shouldn't be worrying about donations on stream. But people who try to start as a streamer with no team or anything to back them up in a real meaningful way, you can't really do that. You have to take donations. You have to get a startup somewhere, and it's good to get that startup from viewers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna pose this next question to Morrow. How salty are you right now of how much Winter makes?
Your face.
Yeah, I'm just a small-time streamer, you know. I'm trying to grow my own stream. Maybe one day I will be as big and great as Mr. Winter. You're an inspiration, young sir.
Who's older out of you two?
I don't know, man. I'm 22.
I'm 21.
Oh.
Rip.
There you go. Look up to my elders.
Anyways, I guess we can segue into. I mean, there's obvious a lot of bigger streamers that make a shitload of money, like just showing this gif of this image of Forsen's donations. He makes what was this month that he showed on stream? I don't know if this was intentional or not.
Yeah.
But he made 18,000? 18,000?
Yeah, 18,000, and it wasn't even like
It wasn't like a sick month or anything. It wasn't like, oh wow, he did really, really good this month. I think that's like a regular month for him.
No, you realize this is like January 18, so it's like half a month.
Oh, okay, so maybe he's pulling in like
I mean,
30K a month at least, just from donations, not even counting subs or ad revenue or sponsorships or anything like that. Yeah, so in general, I know how much most pro gamers make, even including other scenes such as CS:GO and LoL. It seems like streamers and entertainers in general are always making more money than a professional player. Like you gotta take into think about the biggest LoL streamers. You got like Nightblue, you got I'm a Cutie Pie, you got whoever, you know, these big streamers, then you compare them to LCS players. LCS players have to practice so much more and put in their time and effort into other things besides streaming that they're going to make a lot less just because they're streaming a lot less.
Well,
and
I think,
I'm sure Nightblue and
well, actually, I can cut in on that because I've been a classmate of Nightblue since middle school. We've actually went to the same middle school, high school, and college, so I know him on a relatively personal basis. Last year, and this is including sponsorships and donations and everything, he actually didn't have donations at the start, but because of popular demand, of course. I don't think he was complaining too much, but
I'm sure
he's well into
demand.
7 figures.
Really?
Just from streaming. And that's, of course, like he's actually sponsoring his own team with a team house right now from the growth he had streaming. Because he kind of blew up around the same time I did. Like, he had like 400 or 500 viewers in League at the end of 2013, but over the course of the beginning of the year, he went from about 400 or 500 viewers. But of course, the difference between me blowing up, quote unquote, and him blowing up is the difference in about StarCraft and League's viewer base. So you saw him going to 40, 50K. Well, I was really happy to go from 100 to 2,000 in a few months. He's going from like 500 to 50,000. I mean, that's what happens, but when you get to those numbers, you think about it. If 1 in every 100 people, or okay, let's just say 1 in 1,000. That's 1/10% of people. That's a tiny amount of people. Imagine if 1 in 1,000 people watching that stream was inclined to donate $1,000 a year. You're already at 50K, and I don't think that's really a small percentage. I think it's much higher, but
I think that's a very awkward way of looking at it. But yes, that's pretty sick. I assume it's not like, because like when I signed with EG, I got a contract and they released like, oh, he's gonna be making you like over 6 figures, but it was like bare minimum. It was like just a bit over 6 figures, and I'm
is
assuming
that before taxes?
Yes, and I'm assuming Nightblue. You say 7 figures. It's not like he's making like $9 million. I assume it's closer to like $1-2 million.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
I'm not sure the tax rates or anything on that, but I don't know how much it comes from ad revenue and subs and everything. But I mean, I know he has like 7,000-8,000 subs. There are streamers who have even more than that, and they're actually streamers. The largest streamers actually don't. Twitch doesn't take a cut of their subs sometimes. It depends on, but the larger streamers, like we're talking Soda Pop and Crip, Night Blue, Summit, all stuff like that. I have thousands of subs, thousands of viewers. We're not talking 3, 4, 5, 10,000. We're talking like 20,000 now a lot of days. They actually have individual contracts with Twitch, where they hammer it out specifically for them with Twitch, because of Twitch doesn't want them going anywhere else. So they're individually made for them, and I don't think anybody in esports besides like those top LoL streamers really have that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I think like a good comparison would be like you're an athlete for the Olympics for one of the shitty sports versus like playing in the NBA or NFL. Like obviously, like if you're an
The
entertainer,
Olympics doesn't have NFL, by the way, desRow.
No, but that's my
I
point.
see
It's
what you're
like
saying.
like if
It's
you're an
the idea.
athlete, if you're an athlete for a popular sport versus some shitty Olympic competition,
Oh,
it's the
like-
definition like of a pro player versus streamer. Because it's always gonna be like it's the same amount of effort, or maybe
I don't-
not.
I don't think so. I mean, I think like if you take an NFL player and you compare him to an Olympic athlete, they both train and practice the same amount. I think it's a bad comparison.
Yes.
Well, that comes down to, it's like, well, pro players and streamers, Twitch is designed for entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like watching a TV channel. Which TV show is going to be better? The one where the actor is able to commit full time to doing their best acting, or when they have to go 3-4 days a week and go do some other job that's completely different than acting. And StarCraft playing and StarCraft streaming are almost mutually exclusive. You cannot improve in StarCraft meaningfully while you're streaming, while doing commentary, while actually talking with viewers, anything like that. So
Yeah, I think StarCraft is like one. It is
The
probably
hardest.
the worst game as far as that's concerned. There's a lot of like I know in LoL, I played a decent amount of LoL. It's a lot easier to talk and joke and have fun. You have times when you're recalling, you're dead, you're whatever. StarCraft, it's like you have the time in between games. But if you're sitting in a game for 20 minutes and you're trying your best to compete and play with the best, commentating and joking and stuff during that time is going to completely screw you over. Even like CSGO, when you mentioned like Summit, I've watched a decent amount of his stream as well. There's going to be long periods of time when you're dead. You can like talk, joke, whatever, and it's Hearthstone's even like probably the easiest.
Mm-hmm. Nathanias, you haven't said much. What are your thoughts, man?
I mean, as far as the streaming versus pro gaming thing goes, it's the streaming side. Like, if you can really commit to it, obviously there's a ridiculous amount of money to be made off of people's kindness. I don't know enough from like the pro perspective, but I doubt there's. I don't think there's really. It's really possible unless you have like a really sick contract that you're going to be making more money like playing than streaming, unless you're consistently winning tournaments. Like
I don't like besides the
Yeah.
Dota 2 players that win the international. I don't think there's any pro player that's
Yeah.
going to make more money than a top streamer.
yeah, the top streamers, like that's just the way. I don't know. Not everybody can do it, I guess. Like I don't stream I used to pretty much do it completely full time or whatever, and it's not an easy thing to do. It's very, very slow if you don't get like a big break somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess for me, streaming is like it's. I like to do it, but I still can't really commit to it full time because like obviously my work related stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
It's hard too.
not
though.
terrible.
Like I
It
know
is hard.
I've been pretty good friends with a few, like HuK I'm pretty good friends with, and she streams insanely consistently. And I honestly don't know, even if I wasn't a pro player and I wanted to be a pro entertainer or just be like a full-time streamer like Winter or HuKers, it's really, really hard to do it every day for that long. And she didn't, like there was a time like a year or two ago where I think she literally missed only like 4 or 5 days that year, which is completely insane. And you're like, and she would literally stream like 8 to 12 hours a day. And I mean, a lot of people can't do that. That's so much commitment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. I should have sent that message a little earlier. All right, Winter, do you have any final thoughts?
I mean, I'm just gonna, I guess, try to see what. I'm trying to think here because I know in StarCraft II, the thing is, everybody in StarCraft II, a lot of people in the community feel like it's its own little world, I guess. It's that little bubble where the surrounding of Twitch is everywhere outside it. And a lot of people don't realize the scope of Twitch or like what else is going on Twitch. They're just, I'm a StarCraft viewer or spectator or streamer, and they're not looking outside that. Like, to actually kind of set up my stream and kind of do the style I like to do streaming, because I'm not at the start, obviously, like most people, I had to do like donations, donate. But now I've actually been able to establish something like with NVIDIA. I have a very nice contract. I have other things I can be doing on the side. I don't have to focus on that all the time. Summit1G is actually someone I look at a lot because he's not always like, oh my god, donations all the time, everything. Sure, he has the sub counter up there, but mostly he's just kind of chilling. He's playing. He's just having a nice stream, hours upon hours every day. And I think looking outside, just for a little bit, just try, if you want to start streaming or if you want to do more streaming, look at someone else outside of StarCraft and kind of get an idea, see what you can apply from them. Because I get a lot of stuff from other streamers I'll be watching, and I'll just kind of take little things in from them that I can apply to StarCraft. Because if you just keep trying to do what other StarCraft people are doing, you're kind of going against the grain there a little bit when it comes to fighting for viewers and subs and donations and all that. So.
All right. Nathanias, anything to add to what Winter said?
I definitely agree that the StarCraft community or scene is very closed in on itself when you look at streaming. There's a good number of people that will tune into other things, like if you're streaming StarCraft and then you decide to play something else, but I think it's very important for a streamer to be aware of what other streamers are doing. Like, you don't see a lot of, especially because most StarCraft streamers that get viewers are like kind of famous pros that aren't streamers, so they don't do streamer things like have the notifiers up or, you know, actively work to actually promote their stream. They're just like, hey, I'm gonna stream, and they'll ask someone else to help them set up their PayPal donation link, and they'll put that below the video player, and that's it. So it's very weird because if you look at the top streamers for most other games, they're pretty much exclusively like streamers. Like StarCraft, and I've been saying this for a very, very long time, that StarCraft has not been a game that has really streamers. Like, Winter just came up in the last year. Destiny was kind of that person and then went away for a while. And then outside of that, you don't really have many others. I guess desRow is one of them that's been like, you know, in between like competing. Yeah, Maximus Black, who went away for a while as well, because it is a lot easier to do it with other games because just simply speaking on the way the game works, StarCraft, if you get into an hour-long game, like you're fucking focused. There's nothing you can do. Like you're on another planet. But if you're playing, you know, if you're really focused on a game of Counter-Strike, you're gonna die at some point, or the round's gonna end, and then you can look at your chat, you know, and like the round's not gonna take more than 5 minutes because that's what the fucking timer is. And the same thing goes for League. Like, you're gonna need to go back, or you're gonna need to click across the map where you're gonna be able to walk safely and take a look at your chat. So like, StarCraft has never had a good enough streaming scene, and that plays a lot into the whining that people do about viewer counts, because when the streamers for StarCraft that stream reasonably well are on, the StarCraft numbers are naturally much higher. Like, there are times when you'll tune into StarCraft and the top streamer will have 300 viewers. Well, it's some Korean that doesn't have a webcam, that doesn't have a microphone. It's like, okay, well, are you really surprised that people would rather watch Crip at 3 in the morning than some tryhard that won't, you know? It's just, it seems like it should be obvious, but it's apparently not.
Morrow, any final thoughts on the subject?
I just want to say, like, echo a little bit what Winter said. I take a lot of inspiration from other streams that doesn't really stream StarCraft 2. I think StarCraft 2 is also like the hardest game to stream, because you know, it's so hard. It's hard to do commentary, and so many games look alike. In a game like Hearthstone, like, there's so many like oh shit moments because it's so much RNG. But in StarCraft, as a pro player myself, like, nothing doesn't really surprise me. So there's so few moments where I can get generally like very excited.
And if you do, you're screwed.
Because I've like done everything so many times already. Been playing this game for so many years. Like, thing doesn't really surprise me. It was like one time today I was streaming. I actually managed to nuke a Protoss army, and that was like super exciting. But that stuff happens like maybe once a day in StarCraft 2, whereas in different games, because of RNG, it happens so many times where you can get
you can make anything happen.
Excited about things. So StarCraft is like, it's a pretty bad game to stream, but I'm trying my best, at least on my stream, to make it more than just playing games and saying GG in the chat at the end. And I think
that's what
Koreans
are infamous for that. They fucking play a game ends, they go into Twitch chat, GG, and then they're like, alright, next game, and that's fucking it, man. That's fucking
so fucking boring. like I love Starcraft, but watching that shit, I can watch like 3 games and then I'm done. Or I'll have like the mute on, Taja and wait for him to get a Protoss and wait for the mid game, and then I'll watch for like 5 minutes during that whole hour, because the rest is just super boring.
That's the
So I
same
think,
thing.
yeah, it's like super hard with Starcraft to make it exciting and so on when it's really not.
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yes, it does make
Starcraft
sense.
is fun in different ways.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up the topic. Thank you, Winter, for coming on and sharing your thoughts and
problem.
your numbers. Yeah. Have fun streaming.
Anytime, Big D. You guys have fun. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Big D, and
Ta-
everyone.
yeah,
See you
take
guys
care.
later.
Bye.
Right.
All right. Whoops. I called him again. Rip. All right, guys. It's that part of the show where we're going to take calls from our Patreons.
Boy.
Chris, we're going to start with you reading a question from Reddit while I
Okay.
set up the things with the people. Here
Sure
you go.
thing. What do you want me just to go from top to bottom?
Yeah, just start
Find
with the
your
most upvoted thing. And then
All
I'll-
right.
yeah.
This one's for you, Stephen Bonell. Do you still plan on doing Destiny 2? If so, when can we expect it? Could it be possible that you will try to hold tournaments for other games as well? I'll try to do Destiny. I can't do Destiny. Fuck, man. I'm just gonna comment on this as far as I know. He plans on still doing Destiny 2. As far as if and when, he's not really sure. It's basically probably more up to his motivation and work ethic than anything else. It's a profitable thing for him, and he's pretty sure it's gonna be profitable for the second one as well. It's just like, it's a hassle, and he's holding. He once he gets his shit together, he'll want to do it. As far as other games, no, he's only staying StarCraft 2 to the end of time. All right. So the next question is at Stephen Bonell and HuK. Can you two talk a little bit about Grey Goo? First impressions, balance, etc. I played it a decent amount. I think it's pretty fun. It's very comparable to other RTSs like Command and Conquer or Warhammer 40k or these other things. I think it's a lot less in-depth compared to StarCraft 2. There's not a lot of great defensive positions that you can take. It's a lot more snowbally as far as like if you get a lead or you're behind, it's harder to come back, and there's far less micro mechanics. The micro in that game compared to StarCraft 2 is like, oh my god, not even comparable. Are you ready, desRow? You want me to keep going?
Yes.
Yes, what, you're ready? Or you
Well,
want me
there
to-
was like 2 more questions at the desRow.
That's what I'm asking. Do you want me to keep going, or do you want
Yeah, keep going with that question. That
All right.
post.
At desRow, do you really think it is that big of a deal when people capitalize the D instead of the R?
Well, alright, so I don't know about... I think Nathanias doesn't have any capitalization besides the N. Morrow only has the M. But you, HuK, you're capital K, like capital H, U, and then capital K. It's like, it's like the same thing as saying the name of someone the right way when you meet them. It's like a sign of respect, If people are gonna write D capital desRow, then they don't really care, They're just like, fucking, I'm typing desRow. But if they write desRow with the capital R, I'm like, they care, I'm happy, It's like going in, I'm in a good mood already, What are your thoughts, HuK? Do people butcher your name sometimes?
I really don't give a shit about the capital K or the capital... I mean, I prefer capital H, capital K, but even in this post on Reddit of the guy asking the question, he does your name correctly, and then he does right above it my name, and he doesn't have the capital K, and I didn't even notice. So for me, I don't care as much, but I guess desRow is very, very hard
But
on this shit.
desRow with a capital, like with a big D, is so ugly, man.
Okay. Anyways, we're gonna move on to the next question. I think the capital R makes you look childish, and the capital D makes it more official, and you seem classy.
Hell no!
That's my own thing. Anyways, this question's for everybody, so I guess we'll go to Morrow and then Nathanias, since those two are talking less. To know you all a little bit better, what did you do outside of esports in the last few weeks? What did you read, watch, succeed in, whatever it may be? If you fapped a lot, Morrow, you can comment on that. We're going to go to you with this question first, Morrow.
I fapped a lot, but also I played Shadow of Mordors, killing orcs. I played Mass Effect 2, and I have had a LAN with my brothers playing Warcraft 3 and some stuff.
Nice. So
I
you're
went to the grocery store. Hold on here, HuK. Think of other things here. Yeah, I went outside to get my microphone. That was twice, 2 trips. I think that's about it. Yeah.
So a lot of training for WCS, I see.
Oh, but what we said besides Starcraft II, right?
I know, but all those games you mentioned, it seemed like you're investing a lot of time into becoming a Mass Effect / Lord of the Rings / Warcraft 3 professional gamer.
Oh, that was right before WSS qualifiers.
Oh, well, even
Yeah.
better then.
Yeah, now I'm playing Starcraft again. It's cool. I qualified, so.
Nice. Okay, how about you, Nathanias?
I guess I don't know if I have a great answer to this. Outside of esports, I guess I've still streamed non-esporty stuff. I was actually really happy to have like a chill stream like the old days where I wasn't worried about anything, just like playing like fucking Resident Evil and getting drunk on stream, which was a lot of fun. Real life stuff, I'm working on getting my driver's license. I guess people think I'm 30 years old, so they apparently find that surprising. But that's like my outside life goal right now. And outside of that, I guess I already talk about every stream about going to the gym, so I don't need to mention that again. And that's really all I do, actually.
You've
I
lost a
just
lot
kinda-
of weight. desRow was showing me the video he wanted to put in the intro, and then seeing your drunken body then compared to now, you've lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. Well, that happened.
That was like the
right
worst
before.
shirt to wear too, though.
That was like the right before I really committed to all of it. But yeah. So that's about it. I actually spend pretty much all day either watching streams or playing StarCraft. I don't know. I need to budget my time better. I think I'm gonna like stream after this. I should probably go, I don't know, read a book or some shit, be a human, but yeah.
How
That's
about you,
about it.
desRow?
How about me?
Besides being an alcoholic on stream for...
Well, I got a lot of followers and donations that day, so that was fun. But I went too far, so that sucks. I've been trying to bet on CSGO and watching more matches, and I was doing okay until today, where I lost $300. So I'm gonna take a little break now. I'm still up in terms of betting, like in the CSGO. I don't bet on StarCraft much, because we're not allowed if you're part of WCS.
Are you a part of WCS, though?
No, but that's my PR answer. #filtered. No, I started watching a show, Jane the Virgin. It's really fun. It's
No idea what that show
Okay,
is.
so
Go ahead,
listen.
tell us.
So like the fucking afternoon shows, like 3 or 4 p.m. Like your fucking grandma watches. It's like always like romantic stories with like retarded plots, and there's always
So, like soaps?
it's like a parody of that. So it's very similar, but it makes fun of itself a lot, and it's like very heartfelt. And I cried once, and it's a really good show. Jane the Virgin.
Is it a French show or something?
No,
I've never heard of
it's
this.
it's on the US cable. I don't know which channel though.
I don't watch TV really. I only watch downloaded Netflix stuff.
It's
movies.
really good quality. It's one of the best comedies of the fall 2014.
Okay. I
What
don't.
about you? What about you? What's real life for you?
I don't know. I've been dealing with a lot of stress lately. So other than StarCraft II, what I've been like playing CS:GO with you, desRow. I've been
Yes.
trying to do esports stuff, but not StarCraft II as a professional player stuff. Nothing like I'm gonna quit playing StarCraft II professionally, but trying to help the community and behind the scenes as far as StarCraft II scene goes and other scenes go. desRow knows a little bit about it, but I don't really want to say anything about it until later. Other than that, not much. Practicing a lot, watching Twitch, watching movies, that kind of shit, I guess. So.
Okay, all right. We're gonna get. By the way, to the fuckers in chat, Rotten Tomatoes gave Jane the Virgin 86%. Get fucked. All right, we're gonna get a Patreon call in. Hype Patreon. If you don't know our Patreon, you can support the show. There's a bunch of cool perks. We're gonna be updating them. We also have a guy doing highlights for us now. Nice username from Reddit. So the more you put in the Patreon, the more we can afford his services. Yeah, let's get the call in just a second. Where is he? Fuck. Here we go. All right, it's calling. We have to be patient. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fine, thank you. You too?
Yeah, yes. What's your
Yeah.
question, buddy?
Yeah, my question was about HuK's hotkeys. I think you mentioned them a few episodes ago with Hastem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is hotkeys are in all of the matchups because on stream you can't see them.
Oh.
Yeah, I really hate the little thing that pops up. Okay, let me think.
Wow.
What? What? Are you
You
upset
didn't
because
change. You didn't change everything about the way that you play the game for your stream. God damn it.
Yeah. One is Zealot, Sentry, Colossus, Immortal, pretty much like all those units. So not Stalkers. So
Yeah.
all those units, but not Stalkers. 2 is Stalkers / maybe 1 Observer with them to detect shit, and I just like blink them around the map and stuff. 3 is strictly High Templars. 4 is the Mothership Core, that's usually on patrol. 5 is Robo. 6 is Stargate. 7 is rebinded to Tilda, and it's
To what?
Tilda, the thing next to 1 on the
The
left.
squiggly line.
Yeah, the squiggly line. I don't know if you have that on your.
Tilde.
Left one. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So that's rebinded to Tilda, and that's my most forward pylon to the enemy base, whatever that may be. 8 is Observer, 9 is Observer, and 0 is all Nexus.
How do you like chrono boost your Nexus? Like if you need to go through all your Nexi to chrono boost them, how do you do it with that setup?
With the camera hotkeys. So I have like F1 is my first Nexus, F2 is my second Nexus.
Sure. Yeah, okay. I do the same. I just have it on another hotkey. Okay, stupid
Yeah.
question. Okay, and that goes for all the matchups.
Yes, all the matchups is pretty same.
You know,
Sometimes PvP I'll hotkey my Colossus on 3 instead of with 1 if I feel like there's going to be like some kind of micro battle with Colossus, but in general that is
Sure.
how it is with all the matchups.
you know any other pros that have the same setup?
No. I think I'm the only pro that hotkeys my Nexus is to 0, and that's the strangest thing about the way my hotkeys work. I don't know, Morrow,
Don't
you
you
played
have to
Great War?
reach about, along the whole keyboard?
Yeah, and I have really small hands. I probably have the smallest hands out of every pro gamer, so it's even weirder. But I guess I'm agile, or I'm so used to it, it's hard
He's
to change.
dexterous.
Yeah.
Okay, did you ever make a complete overhaul regarding your hotkeys? Like, change everything?
No, I've never done a complete overhaul. I've added like, fuck man, I added the camera hotkeys partway through my career. I changed the 7 to the closest pylon, so I've done like small changes, but I've never done like that's like a very TLO Dario move to do, where he's like, this is not efficient. I'm gonna make everything on one side of the keyboard, and then I just don't do that. I was considering changing, Force Field and Guardian Shield since they're so close together, and it's misclicked a lot, but in the end I didn't change it.
Alright.
desRow's hotkeys? I was interested in those too.
Alright, well, everything on 1 except the Templars. Stalkers on 2, so I can defend. Templars on 3. My gates are on 3 until they become Warp Gate. Robo Stargate on 4. Nexus is on 5. Observer on 6. Mothership Core on 7. I have Tilde for harassing units on Control 8. And then on Control 9 is Control Q for my Forges. Or my Twilight or my Proxy Dart Shrine, so I can see how close my DTs are ready to be warped in. And that's for every matchup.
Where do you have your harassment, HuK? Your warp?
Tilde, the one left
no,
to.
HuK. Oh, HuK I mean.
Yeah, he doesn't care about you, desRow. You're done. You had 10 seconds, and then you're done. I usually don't have it hotkeyed. I mean,
My
if it's
games don't go that long, you know.
if it's like an Oracle, let's say early game Oracle PvT, I'll have it on 3 until like something becomes necessary. So like 3 is High Templar, but anything that would come before High Templar, so Oracle, Phoenixes, stuff like that, will be on 3.
Okay, alright.
War
Thanks,
Prism,
that's
if High Templars aren't out yet, that kind of thing, I guess.
Okay. Well, thank you. That's it, I guess.
Alright, well, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much for being a Patreon or a Patron.
Patron.
I'm done. Alright, thank you so much. Maybe we'll see you next week. Have a good week.
Thank you, you too.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
God fucking damn it. You know being French is like a disease, right?
Oh, I've heard.
Yes, thank you. Well, just look at Todd. That's a perfect example. All right.
Oh my God. I hope he's not watching. And I know where the fuck he is.
I'm gonna.
Okay for you, desRow.
He's gonna push me in the stairs at the next event. Fucking not look back twice. HuK, what do you think would be a great fit for EG since it's lost a lot of players?
Jesus, man. Like, it's so hard to think of because there's so many players. Like, are you like, if you could give me a list of 5 players and say who would be the best fit, it would be a lot easier. Or like a list of free agents and who would be good, I could say. But it's too vague of a question to really answer. There's no one in my mind that like immediately pops out and I'm like, yeah, we need to get that guy. He'd be a great fit for EG. I feel like that guy is Jaedong, and Jaedong's already on EG, so.
Okay. Next question. We have.
Was I the only guy who couldn't hear HuK?
No, I heard him.
What did he say?
I didn't say you,
No,
Mark, so
I
don't
didn't.
worry about
You
it.
what? You what?
You what,
I
mate?
said it's too vague and too general of a question. I can answer it if you gave me like 10 players and said which one should I pick.
I asked about the MC. Yeah,
The what?
MC. MC. The player.
Oh, MC.
You
Me
asked
should.
about MC?
Yeah, me should. Yeah.
MC would be okay. Yeah, he'd be a pretty good fit, but he's not gonna get 3K a month. So if that's what he's expecting, then that's not gonna happen.
Okay.
He would be a good fit. Personality-wise, he fits. He's very, like, BM. Even Parting would have been a pretty good fit, I think.
BM, okay.
No, what? They're like...
number 1 on the list is very
Well,
BM.
they're BM, but they do it in a way that the community likes, and they get pretty good results. They're very good personalities, even though they're Korean. I mean, they fit everything that I think EG is looking for as a player, but I think they both expect way too much for what EG would be willing to pay.
I have a guy that I talk to all the time on Skype, and he's got a pretty good question. So I'm gonna drag him in.
Whoa! Is he on our Patreon?
No.
Well, then
Whoa.
you ain't
But-
calling
but-
fucking
but-
nobody.
but
Do you
we-
see me calling my
but
mom?
we-
bringing her on
we
the
call
show
Rifkin,
saying, hey,
we
she
call
used to
Rifkin.
cook me food. Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna call
chose
my
Rifkin.
stream sub. I'm gonna call my stream subscriber.
Alright,
Yeah,
fuck
what
you
the fuck do you
guys.
think this
Alright, alright.
Last week you wanted Rifkin. This week you want your best friend from middle school. I don't give a fuck, man. Tell them to show HuK the money. They can get on the goddamn call.
Well met.
Alright. HuK, how do you get fined by EG? The Muslim said on stream today that he got fined $600 for upsetting Idra. Can you top that?
I've never been fined. I am unfinable. I've done a lot. I don't know. I had a closer relationship with Alex Garfield than I think the Muslim did, and I was better at doing something that was more fucked up than what the Muslim has done, I think, but more like I could fight it better. So like I would like say, show me in the contract where it says I'm not allowed to do this, and then I would argue about it for like 2 or 3 hours, and then I'd have other people comment on it. So I never actually got fined. I think one time on principle, I was supposed to get fined $1, but it actually never went through. So I still have not been fined, but I think like every other EG player has been fined a decent amount of money. So I'm untouchable, bitches. That's it.
Rip. Alright. Any thoughts on the 2v2 tournament that Base Trade sponsored, or the 2v2 tournament that Ascended Star League is planning on running? Let's go with Morrow. Morrow, you've played in the previous 2v2 tournament, right?
I'm not sure what the TV2 tournament I played. I played some with the Beastie Cutie anyway.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on 2v2 tournaments, Morrow?
Yeah, I think TV2 is pretty fun, and obviously must be some interest because I peaked my viewer count because I was streaming it as well. I was getting so much more than compared to like streaming in a one-on-one tournament. So I think there's definitely some interest for TV2 tournaments. I think it's fun,
Yes, okay.
but it's probably not balanced though. But
yeah, but it's okay. Nathanias, your thoughts?
On the 2v2 thing, right? I like it. I think that there's a lot of unexplored avenues. What was it? It was once upon a time that someone asked about 2v2s like 3 years ago. And I think Dustin Browder like said in some sort of interview or post, he's like, it's not possible to balance, so we won't focus on it. And then nobody ever played 2v2 again. Like 2v2 just died because Blizzard was like, fuck that. And and there was only ever one patch, by the way, made in relation to 2v2, and it was the pylon radius nerf was actually heavily influenced because there was this sick build that I actually used in beta to get super high up with my buddy, where we just did that 5-gate warp and all in, and you couldn't see the
you and
fucking
your buddy
pylon
got
because of the
high?
radius. Yes, literally high.
Nice.
And so like that was like the only change ever made, but nobody ever gave the fucking 2v2 a chance, man. I feel like if you watch 2v2, it's really not that bad, and I guess if you get high level players, I feel like it's going to be better. I feel like it could be a lot better than people think. Like the only argument I hear against 2v2 is some guy that like barely plays or isn't like, you know, who's like maybe gold league in 1v1, who's like, oh yeah, but you can only go Hellion Speedling all in every game, or you just die to anything else. And I'm like, I really feel like once you get good players competing, you know, they're gonna find ways to work around shit the same way they do in 1v1. So I'd like to see more of it.
Yeah, for sure, I agree. It's nice that Base Trade decided to do that tournament. I kind of miss the Shoutcraft Clan Wars. I really feel like everyone gave up on doing team leagues, you know, except that improved team league thingy. But like Take's not doing it, Shoutcraft's not doing it, EG stopped doing it. What's up, Morrow?
Yeah, I didn't know Take was gonna stop doing it. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I want to comment on this.
Yeah?
At the beginning of StarCraft II, there was 2v2 in team leagues, like the regular team leagues when team leagues were actually a thing, because I remember Strife Crow and Axlab were our 2v2 players for our team. I think in general 2v2 is pretty fun, I agree. And I think it can be, like, the thing is that it never got played out to its true potential, I felt. And I still feel like in a team league, it would be really fun, you know, let's say you have 4 or 5 1v1s, and then you have a 2v2 match, and then it goes to an ace match, and that counts as a basic point or whatever. I think Total Biscuits League, like you said, featured 2v2, and it was kind of fun. I still think it's interesting, and I think I would like to see it get played out more. I know, actually, State cockoed me fucking at, like, 3 a.m. or something, asking me if I wanted to play in Base Trade's 2v2 thing, but it was on Korea server, and I live on East Coast, and I was like, nope, rip. But I would definitely play in a 2v2 tournament if it was EU-based or NA-based. I think it would be a lot of fun, and I hope that someone hosts it.
Who would be your partner?
Not you, if that's what you're hinting at.
No, hell
mean,
no.
it depends.
No, hell no. I've played Star Strikers with you, man. I've never been more stressed in my life. You kicked one of our teammates because he wasn't performing mid-tournament. You're ruthless.
Adjustments have to be made. You're lucky we had a personal relationship, or you would have been off the team too, because you were definitely not pulling your weight in that Star Strikers tournament.
Well, that's a tough job to do, man.
Yeah, anyways, I don't know who I'd play with. I was willing to play with State if it was on NA. I mean, I might be willing to play with you, desRow. But I just hope someone does it, because it seems like a fun thing.
Don't you know that a double Protoss combination is literally impossible to win with against anybody that's half decent?
Yeah.
Some gold leaguer on Reddit told me that, okay? I think you guys would be fucked.
It's true.
Double proxy oracle.
Well, I was also a huge Brood War 2v2 player. Me, Katz, Drewby, can't remember who else was really big on 2v2s, but like I'm talking like A+ Olympic ring 2v2 players in Brood War, and it was insanely fun. And 2v2 was a big part of Brood War for a really long time. Double Zerg was like OP as fuck, and then they banned Double Zerg, and you had to be Zerg and someone else. But it was a really cool, fun thing in Brood War. And I think StarCraft II might not be as fun, but it still has a lot of potential. And it's sad that we've basically never pursued it as professional players.
All right, we have.
Anyway, that's what I just want to say. I think like 2v2 within like the one-on-one leagues was kind of stupid, because you know, I think ace match with one-on-one was just much more fair. It always sucked when you're like, you know, you had the better one-on-one team, and the other guys have just been playing a couple of 2v2s. They have like this goofy strategy, and they could just snipe you like that to grab a 3 points. I think that was kind of stupid. And also another thing about the 2v2. Fuck, it's slipped my mind right now. Oh yeah, it was about the team leagues, like the Take TV and stuff. I think it got kind of spoiled because the teams basically didn't have enough players, so you would have to like grab players from different teams, and it didn't really feel like a team league anymore when you had
So many
Lil Bo
mercenaries
coming
yeah.
in to different teams, Acer grabbing people from soccer or whatever. Like there was almost no team who had like a complete roster of their own players, so I think that kind of ruined the spirit a little bit. At least it did for me.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard. It's hard to have a
was
real
really silly.
team league like that these days. I feel because like teams don't really aim for that many players anymore. They more aim for having a star player, maybe 2 players, but not a full roster, with the academy and all that stuff. These days, I feel.
Didn't that lead to like this Team Baguette even being formed for the SC2 ITL because the teams didn't have enough players to formulate their own? Something like that?
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Team Baguette. Next question is actually pretty interesting. As far as I know, Life is the only high-level Zerg player that doesn't hotkey the eggs when they're building. He just rallies them with hatcheries, waypoint instead. This to me seems like a superior style of play when it comes to multi-pronged defend attack, but a style that's much harder to master than if you would simply just hotkey the eggs instead. Thoughts on the style? Let's throw it to Morrow since he was previously a Zerg.
Oh, is he like comparing not hotkeying the eggs to hotkeying the eggs?
Yes.
Oh yeah, so I'm an old school Zerg player, so I was actually not playing with that hotkey style. And it's interesting when I talk to sort of like, he's a very good Zerg player. We practice it sometimes, and we talk about like, oh, sort of you should have gone the Mutalisk harass like this and fly around my main base and do it like that. And sometimes his argument is like, oh, I can't do that because my rallied Mutalisk are gonna come in from the other side and run into turrets and stuff like that. So I think it's definitely like best way you can play Zerg is to sometimes to not even hotkey the eggs specifically for harassment groups like Mutalisk, so you don't have that issue where you're restricted how you walk with your units based on where the rallied units are gonna come from and so forth. But when I was a Zerg player, I never hotkeyed my eggs, even after I knew about that you could do it, but I still didn't think that it would be the optimal way of playing.
All right. Next question. HuK Nathanias at HuK and Nathanias. What do you think of streamers getting drunk on stream and dancing as a panda?
Well,
Yeah?
I think all I've got is my response to it there, which was I was a drunk Pikachu about a week ago, and I don't know if I could really criticize. It's so.
Oh my god,
like,
you're one of them.
To be fair, I was out getting some I was at like a Japanese shop getting some Pocari Sweat and shit, and they just happened to have this what was it, this Tokyo Lifestyle Pikachu onesie, and I just made a bad life choice.
That's amazing.
But it was, I don't know, man, it's okay. Sometimes you just gotta, like, if you're not the kind of person that is upset with people judging you forever for it, and I honestly don't give a fuck, like, I'll just be like, okay, let's raise X amount of money and I'll do it again. But like outside of that, if you can do it and own it, why the fuck not? Your viewers will probably think it's funny because it's it's a bit outside the ordinary for you. I never do stuff that outlandish on my stream, so kind of having fun with it was was fun.
How far did you go as far as drinking?
I never go that far in my stream. I think, well, that's also because I think it takes a lot to get me out. But yeah, I polished off half a bottle of soju that night, and I think I had 1 or 2 shots of whiskey. I don't know. But I was like, yeah, I was pretty turnt. I wasn't like bad though. I was not as bad as you, Desi. I watched your stream and I was like, I could see why people would enjoy this, but I cringed a little.
No, well, obviously the last 2 hours were a fucking train wreck. I was at like 24 shots. For those that don't know, I was at 24 shots deep after like 11 hours. All right, there's 2 hours left to midnight, or 3 hours left to midnight. And I get wrecked versus this fucking Diamond Zerg, and I'm like, motherfucker, I will fuck you up if we play a rematch. He's like, why would I do that? I'm like, I'm desRow. If you beat me, I'll give you $10. And then he tunes into the stream, sees that I'm fucking drunk as fuck, and then he's like, no, I don't want $10. Do 5 shots in 5 minutes if I win again. And obviously at that point I was not making the best decisions, but it was still like a reasonable drunk level, you know? Nothing too cringy. And then I lost the...
I think the problem was your makeup. It looked like you've been like a panda has been abused and like tearing your eyes out.
You were like,
Oh, you really needed to refresh your makeup. It made you look like
you looked like a
reminds me
worn
of
out hooker or
a
something.
high school girl at prom who like her boyfriend broke up with her and like
Yeah.
spent the night crying. That's kind of what she looked like.
It was bad, man. And it was, you're fucking lying. It was full of cringe. You were very past the point of being okay.
What? No,
You're like, before that point, I was like, you know, I was tolerable. No, man, you were gone, man. You were saying some, like, you were looking up hemorrhoids at one point. You were saying some, like,
What?
incomprehensible
I did that?
shit. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Man, it was full of, like, it was like when Britney Spears started shaving her head, man. You were like, fuck, like, I don't want to. This is horrible. Everybody's just like ruining her life, but at the same time, you're like, I want to see what fucking happens next. What is she gonna do? That's you. You're the Britney Spears with like makeup ruined all over. It's
Alright,
fucking-
so what are your thoughts, HuK? Do you think that was a good or a bad decision?
I mean, I think you took it. You could have cut it like another. Like, I think it's better if you do like a shorter drunk stream and like just get fucking plastered. You go from like 0 to 100 within like 3 or 4 hours. And then like you're just done. Like for it being a whole day, it's just like more being an alcoholic than anything else, you know? If you start drinking at like fucking 11 a.m. and you're going until like your goal is to keep drinking until midnight, that's pretty fucking bad. Get like a good 3 or 4 hour period, go really fucking hard, and then
Be
pass
like
out.
6 o'clock we start. Then you take like a shot at 5 to get yourself ready. And then your stream happens and
Yeah.
go ham.
Alright, no
pass
more
out,
12
drink some water.
hours.
Yeah.
12 hours. That's really pushing it.
In general, though, I think it's okay. I mean, Base Trade did it, State of the Game did it, Nathanias has done it. I would do it. We're considering doing it for Remax if we hit that goal for Portray-On money or whatever. I think inherently there's nothing wrong with it as long as you're not doing it like fucking like every week is my Saturday drinking stream.
It's all about having fun within reason, because I do remember, and I actually, desRow dodged the bullet on this one. There was another streamer who recently got a 24-hour Twitch ban for getting too hammered on her stream.
Who was it?
I think it was Dingledripper, because a bunch of people were asking me about it, because they were like, is desRow going to get banned like this chick did? Well, it got beyond annihilated. Like, Twitch does have a policy about self-destructive behavior, so, like, you can, like, within reason should always be the idea. Like, no, at least understand or know your limits to a degree where, you know, shit's not going to get that bad. Yeah, Crow, too, I think it happened to as well. Yeah, he also got shreked.
Yeah. Alright, next question from Gemini19 on Reddit. Nathan HuK, with desRow and Lycan's new tournament coming out, do you think they'll fall into the same trap as Zotac? Lack of participation? Or does the fact that they won't be competing with another tournament at the same time, go for SC2, completely negate any downside?
I want to answer this question really badly. Okay?
Yes.
Two things I really fucking hate. Go for SC2. Use the ESL website to sign up. Okay? For all the nice things I could say about ESL, your tournament website signing up system sucks. Monkey nuts. And it's so hard to sign up for things and find the pages that you signed up for previously without using like the direct link from the Team Liquid thread that I feel that significantly hurts sign up. Like for me, signing up to play in a tournament that's on the ESL website is a chore. It is not like the reason why Playhem was so nice was you register your account, your cookies like log you in every time you go there. You would be like, you go to like playhem.com tournament. It's like it shows you tournaments coming up, how many hours until the tournament. You click on it, you click sign up, and then you leave the page open, and then the thing pops up and says check in, and then you don't even have to like refresh the page, and then it just shows the bracket once the tournament starts. And it was so smooth and so nice. It made it really easy. I think it was even on the team, like they were always on the Team Liquid calendars. They were on like the Team Liquid tournament tracker back when that machine existed, and that was for me. That's like a huge boost, I think, for getting players to sign up. And I think if you guys use something like Challenge, if you have a good admin, like a website like Challenge would be really nice for running that tournament. But like, I don't know what you are liking or doing. Binary Beast is also really good. But if you guys use, if you guys are and decide to use the ESL website where you have like 500 pages to navigate through and you have to sign in on an account that you haven't used in 5 years for anything else, then you're really going to hate life and you're going to have a hard time getting people to sign up.
Yeah, agree. Any thoughts, HuK?
I almost got fined just now, so I had to dodge a bullet real quick because I tweeted some iffy image. So I'm trying to make moves while the show's going on, but
I missed it.
What's the fucking question? I wasn't listening.
Do you think we'll struggle like Zotac, or because there's no, or tournaments not competing against something else, they won't struggle like Zotac? Me and in tournament.
I don't know what the fuck you're trying to say, but I think you'll do fine either way as long as it's consistently not shit. So,
alright. Making sure it's not poop. Alright. Just skimming through Twitter question, and then we're going to call it a day real quick. For the whole crew, was your favorite pro gamer from either Brood War or Starcraft II or both? Let's start with Morrow. What's up, Morrow?
My favorite pro gamer of all time is Flash, but that's pretty obvious to most.
What about Young B?
Well,
who's that?
I like Young B, but he quit, man.
No, quitter.
But still, like, you can't compare Young B to Flash. He's mere mortal. No, but Flash is like of course, the best RTS player of all time, so it's an obvious pick.
Nathanias, favorite pro gamer, Brood War?
Okay. Well, first, let me go off the list of people that I actually have ever seen play a game of Brood War. I'm just gonna go with Flash. I wasn't around like for pro Brood War. It's always weird to like. I've been playing Brood War since 2004, but somehow I just never knew. It never came up in all those games of diplomacy that there was a pro scene. I don't know shit about Brood War pro gaming aside from the players that play Starcraft II.
So, who was your favorite for Starcraft then? Two.
My favorite Starcraft, I think it's been pretty common knowledge. I've been a 4GG fanboy forever. He's like my favorite guy to follow. He's the guy I'll always cheer for no matter what. Obviously, when I'm like thinking about the best player, like I probably like the guy that I want to like win WCS like overall BlizzCon. There's no one that would make me more happy than if it was like Flash. But yeah.
What about you, Chris? Favorite Brood War?
Favorite Brood War player?
Yeah.
Boxer, man. What the fuck? Gotta give out shout out to my homie Boxer. He was like one of the guys I grew up watching. He had this like sick highlight reels. He's probably, I mean, he's objectively not as good as the modern day Terran players like Flash and whatever at the end of the era, but I thought he made a lot of interesting plays. He always made games really interesting. Outside of that, he's always been a stand-up guy, been very friendly to everybody I've ever seen him interact with. He's done a lot for the scene. I don't know. He's just a solid guy, good friend.
Okay. For me, I like Stork, but he's an old dinosaur who's gonna retire soon. So rip, I'll miss you. So then last question from Dr. Aromi, who has like a problem on Twitter and he keeps tweeting at StarCraft every day about it. What do you think of Blizzard still not releasing the handbook and no full schedule for WCS Season 1? We'll throw this hot potato at Nathanias.
No, I think. What's the most politically correct thing I can say without not answering the question? Probably it should definitely have been out by now. I'm not aware of any reason why it wasn't released or why there was a delay, but I think it goes without saying that everybody should be upset that it's not out. I'm just like, it just doesn't make sense for me that, like, unless some cataclysmic thing happened that I'm not aware of, in which case, obviously I wouldn't want to shit on the person that, had some sort of real life stuff going on, but it's the kind of thing you expect to be out before the qualifiers begin so that you know the terms of everything and the way that the tournament's going to be run.
What about you, Chris? Are you afraid to be fined for something you haven't done?
What? That's the question?
No, it's about the handbook.
Yeah, no.
It should be out.
It should be out, yeah. Period. It should be out. It should have been out, very close to the beginning of the year. Yeah. It's not out. I think one of the biggest issues is just like tournaments are trying to, other tournaments besides Blizzard /WCS are trying to plan their events, and it's harder for them to, have big question marks up in the air still. For me personally, it's not a big deal. I mean, it's for a player, it's pretty much like the one rule you got to follow is don't do anything too stupid or too edgy, and you should be fine. But I mean, until they release a handbook, just go buy the one last year. I guess that's the best advice I could give, but it should have been out. Yeah.
All right, sounds solid. Morrow, any final thoughts on that
No.
question?
Go on.
Alright guys, well that concludes Remax episode 26, February 3rd. Fuck you Destiny, we love you but we don't. Let's do the shout outs. Morrow, where can we see you next? What do you have coming up?
Well, you can always find me on my stream at twitch.tv/Morrow. You can also find me at eSport SM at Inferno Online. I believe it is played on the 7th, where I fight for that qualifier spot to the summer. But later on in the month, like at the end of the month, I have a WCS, my Premier League group, and I will fly to America for that. So, hi. That's it.
I said
Oh,
hi.
Why are you
Yeah,
making
you-
that so awkward as fuck, desRow? He like said it, and then there's this long period of like 3 seconds where
Because
it's
my
silent.
mic was muted. Alright.
Oh, and Morrow's like questioning himself. He's like, "Did I fuck up? Was I muted the whole time?
No,
Did they not hear me?"
Yeah,
No,
I thought I was muted.
Yeah, thank you so much, Morrow. Sorry for this, sir. Sorry for the. What about you, Nathanias?
Yeah, I've been streaming a lot. Obviously, there's not as much WCS to do, so I just have a lot more time during the season to whatever. So you can always check out my stream at twitch.tv/Nathanias. Shout out to my sponsor, CyberPower PC. Make my stream really awesome. If you ever tune in my stream, you'll be blown away how nice the quality is. That's partially due to them. So check them out. And Quest Gaming. We were talking about the fitnessy thing earlier. If you agree with HuK and you think I'm looking better, as time goes by, you should check them out. At Quest Nutrition, they make like protein bars and protein shakes and whatever, and it's pretty good shit. And yeah, they're saving my mini esports universe. So that's about it.
Yeah, nice. What about you, Chris?
Shout out to my team. Shout out to Kelby on Twitter. My homie, my manager. Don't find me for what I said on Twitter. Can't be touched. I deleted that shit with the quickness. Can never catch me. Other than that, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you, Morrow, for coming on such short notice, although I know you're a huge Remax fan. Always in the chat, always repping it anyways, with your duck face. And,
Well met.
yeah, just thank you, Nathanias. Thank you, desRow, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And I'm glad that this show isn't shit, and it's consistent and great and good and, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And
Well,
desRow's...
you're
What?
I was gonna say you're part of that, man. You're a big part of
Yeah,
that.
of course I am, but I'm just glad it all came together,
Yeah.
And desRow's gonna read the Patreon names because I think it'd be funnier if you read them because you got that silly French accent, and if you mispronounce shit, it's hilarious. So
Alright, so
Go
big
ahead,
thanks to our Patreons, Riamar, Knifolio, and Zelazam. So those bought the perks to have their names said out loud. You can see all the other names listed at the bottom that are scrolling. You can be part of one of those people if you go to our Patreon page. Yeah, so big shout out to my sponsor, G2A. I signed up with them last week. Really excited about that. A shout out to Corsair. Cheers for Gaming and Asus. I'm going to be playing in the Safety Net Qualifier tonight, so right after this I'm going to be streaming some ladder for that. And we'll be back next week. I just want to take a minute to apologize for Destiny not showing up. It's not his fault, obviously. I sort of kind of knew that he had Nathan on Tuesdays. I asked him yesterday and he said yes, but I should have reminded him that he had Nathan on Tuesdays. And so this morning he messaged me saying that he didn't think he was going to make it, but he was going to try. And we didn't replace him right away. And yeah, so I just want to apologize for not having a 4-man consistent. First part of the show was a little rocky, but we all made it in the end, and we all had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching the show. The VODs will be up later. Thank you for watching, and see you guys next week.